Hello and welcome. Welcome everybody to day 95. Day 95, the divine protection. My name is Sia. I'm calling in from Austin, Texas, where it's still nice and warm and we pretend it's summer. And I'm very excited for this program. It's going to be a little bit of an experiment. Okay, I wasn't meant to say that, but I'm still going to say it's still going to be a little experimental. And if I'm saying experimental, we do need Vitotas on the program. I almost said on the show. And there's a reason why I said on the show. Hello, Vitotas, is because he is an actor, performer, and much more. And here he is calling in from Lithuania, of all places. Now, quickly check on Google Maps where that is. Where is Lithuania? Hi, Vitotas.
Hi, hello everyone. So nice to be seen somewhere in the midnight, in the middle of the night, other side of the ocean. So it's Lithuania, close to the Baltic Sea,
Tell
and
us exactly what middle of the night is for you right
it's
now.
actually 3:49. Very good time to start morning meditation.
Morning meditation. Thank you so much for joining. This is an insane time for you to be up for us, but I can't wait. So please, please, everybody, you have to stay till the bitter end for this program, not show, because we're going to have a little bit of a fun chat at the end with Vitotas, and he's going to lead us for the second part of the meditation after the speech. So he will help us meditate, but he is also going to share quite a couple of stories, right? Let's see how it goes. It's going to be very spontaneous, but when the both of us start talking, usually it takes a while. So
Be ready.
be ready and be emotionally, mentally, physically, everything prepared. Or
Yeah.
watching YouTube later. All right, Vitota, see you later. Off we go to the topic. But before we dive into the topic, and I prepared a slightly different thing for you today, I would like all of us just to take raise a kundalini and take a bandhan. Let's do this together. Slowly and with attention. And then 7 bandhans for each energy center. A protection. Bandhan is a protection. We can raise our kundalini just a couple of times to bring our attention on top of our head. And all throughout this program, we can keep our attention on top of our head. And as you all know, even if we are having our attention on a topic, let's introspect and let's reflect. I invite you all to find the topic today in yourself. So I may talk a little bit about the topic of protection, but it's really more of a question to you all what this really means. What does protection mean to me? Who is protecting me? How do I feel protected? When do I feel protected? What do I expect? Do I have an expectation when I'm talking about protection? So let's introspect. Let's close our eyes, and if you want, you can place your hand on your heart. You can also place your feet in the foot sock, but we start the official meditation a little bit later. And just ask yourself, the reason why I picked this topic was, amongst others, that I had chats with seekers, and some of them say, I meditate, but I don't feel different, or why are the things still happening to me? So how much is really up to us, and how much is just out there falling on us as if out of the blue we get attacked or we have suddenly something to work out? Protection is something we very much know from the moment we're born, because we know how it feels to have a mother look after us. Or maybe we don't know how it feels to have a mother look after us. That's already a point where we can look at the protection of a mother. Something is given as something that is just naturally there for us as a child. And later, when we grow up, humans throughout the evolution, humans and equally other creatures have always looked for shelter, because the first thing we want to do is protect our body. We want to protect our body. We have nerves, we feel pain. So one of the first things is protect ourselves from the elements, isn't it? So we're building shelters and whatnot. And then we go further. We want to protect our body against the elements with a simple raincoat. Or we're starting wars and we need helmets and armor and anything, or maybe chemical equipment. For chemical accidents, we have suits and all sorts of things to protect our body, right? So that we feel safe like that. And then when we feel safe in the sense of I have my house, I have my gear, what about my stuff, my things? I want to lock them up safely. The more I have, the more I'm worried, which is weird with human beings, isn't it? The more they have, the more they get worried, they can lose it. And ideally, we just want to lock it all up. And isn't it the safest just to lock yourself in? Remember the COVID times? Lock yourself in a house and maybe never even go out, because something could happen outside. And on top of it, sometimes we're looking elsewhere. We want to protect ourselves with the help of a four-legged friend, because we trust the instincts. Okay, maybe not this one. Maybe this one. He looks nice. Or not so nice. He's not meant to look nice. He's meant to protect us, isn't it? We trust his instincts. So what happens if we've taken care of all these things? We're safe. We think we're safe. We've done everything we think we can, mostly for our physical well-being, right? But how come we still feel sometimes vulnerable? We feel vulnerable. We feel we can get attacked. Somebody can just start shouting. I got shouted at the petrol station the other day, out of the blue, by some person. What are we going to do? Somebody just comes and vents his anger at you and says the harshest thing. We have to deal, right? Or is there some invisible shield that we just would like all to have? This invisible shield like Captain America, that nothing goes in. We're just going to be, saving ourselves from these attacks, from this negativity. Then again, what if it goes in? What do I do then? So I was reflecting on this. And I was putting it into these two categories. There's this one side where we can protect ourselves, do everything we can to protect ourselves. But then there's this other side where we feel we have no control over at all, being protected by what I assume you all strongly believe, that there is this divinity, this divine power that looks after us. And you have learned all these things already. And really, I'm just here to put your attention on it, to remind you. That's it. That's all I'm doing. What can we do to protect ourselves? And we are very much in charge of this ourselves. Meditation. So rather than maybe saying, why are these things happening to me? Let's ask ourselves, did I meditate? Did I clear myself out? Let's ask ourselves, did I actually clear my right side, my left side? Did I take a bandan before I went out of the house? Did I really do that? Did I put the effort in, or am I just going to expect any miracles coming my way? Right? The bandan, as we just did before the program. Excuse me. The bandan, the meditations. But then also choices we make. And choices we make is very much what Shri Mataji is talking about in many speeches. Am I going to this place if I already know this is potentially going to be really heavy, really negative? Am I going to go there? Or am I maybe just walking away? Maybe sometimes we're sent to a place because we're meant to be there. That may be. But then let's prepare ourselves. Let's take a bandan. Let's keep the attention in Sahasrara. Let's bring our attention up in the Sahasrara and stay there. And when things get strange, let's just go into thoughtless and bring our attention in Sahasrara and trust us. We, all of us, everyone on this call have been in this situation. It's not like we are the moment we start meditating in this wonderland. We all experience this every single day, but how do we act? What do we do with it, right? And then sometimes when something is there and somebody is really negative and somebody is having a go, just walk away. You have a choice. You don't have to expose yourself to a situation. So there's a thing I can do myself. But then there's this side where we're asking for protection. And I was thinking when we talked with Vitotas earlier today, I mentioned, isn't it funny how earlier the Romans would say, oh, it's raining, it's terrible weather for our ships to go out because the gods are not happy with us. There was always in mankind the connection between weather or things happening to our behavior, to our state. However, now with all the science, we have become so disconnected, haven't we? That we think this has nothing to do with us. Whatever happens outside my window has nothing whatsoever to do with me. And I think in Sahaja Yoga we learn to reconnect to the nature, reconnect to messages, reading little messages in happenings around me, but not interpreting everything as negativity or as a punishment, but as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to use my tools and make a change. Because the moment we have our self-realization, we very much know from all the speeches we heard is that we are not only observing like a dead television screen, but the moment we have our self-realization, we're engaging. So even if I'm watching a situation, like I'm passing by on the motorway, on the highway, I'm passing by a car crash, and I'm having an attention on the car crash, just that attention alone, it works. And these are things you'll find out over time. Maybe people tell you, but you will have your own experience that this actually is a working process. This is an interaction. Our attention works. But in order to work, we have to be detached. We have to be the witness. We have to surrender and not engage with our ego, our superego. Asking for protection. How do we ask for protection? Again, in meditation. So really, those two things are not completely separate. We ask for protection in meditation. Again, as I just said, through putting our ego and superego down, working on our ego and superego. How do I do that? With affirmations, with mantras, with prayers. Mother, remove my ego, remove my superego. This is work. This is our work. That's how we work. And then through surrender. We surrender. Through songs. Songs are very often written in Sanskrit, a language, or also in English, where I'm going to sing later. Through songs, we express how we feel. We communicate these desires, the desire for protection, right? Mantras. So we have it all. We just got to use it. So we feel it's not really in our hands, is it? We feel it's all out of our hands. It's just happening. No, it's actually not quite true, is it? It's a lot of it is in our hands, because look at our hands. It's all right there. It's all right there. So the power of surrender from the heart. I just want you to feel it. I want you to, nobody can force us to have a desire. Nobody can force us to wish something. Nobody can force us to meditate either. Nobody can force us to switch on the computer and join the 21-day program, right? But that's already one of the choices that we covered earlier. What are my choices, right? So let's not be surprised, but let's take everything that comes of our way as an opportunity. We don't have to say, I'm a glass half full person, I'm a glass half empty person. No, it's not naturally that I'm a positive person and a negative person by birth, but we can train, we can train our awareness and the angle we look at things. And rather than seeing something negative or seeing only punishment, actually seeing an opportunity and seeing maybe a lesson to be learned. And let's face it, how will I explain light to somebody who has no idea what darkness is? We only understand the light if we know that there's darkness. So it needs the duality to really understand what is good and what is bad, right? So let us get into meditation. This is the moment you can place your feet in the foot soak. And again, this was just a little bit of, there's nothing new. This is not something you've never heard before. But I want you to put your attention on it. And I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you to really, really be honest with yourself. No need to blame it on some imaginary fate of yours. Whatever happens, happens for a reason. And we can talk about this after, later with Vitotas, because we've had some experiences in Sahaja Yoga. Many of us have had multiple experiences with this. And you have too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here in day 95. So let's place our feet in the foot soak. And I shall play a little tune for you to get you into meditation. We've done our bandhan. Let's place both the hands towards Mother Earth. And for those who don't do a foot soak and sit on the ground, so obviously we can place our hands on Mother Earth and feel this connection. As we just said, we are connected. We cannot deny it. We're so connected. So let us make use of this enormous planet and its powers and its love to clear out our chakra and focus on our Muladhara chakra. Mother Earth, please cleanse my Muladhara chakra. Make me innocent. Let me feel my innocence. Fill me with wisdom and joy. So let's place our hand on our Swadhisthana. We can say, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge make me the witness Mother, I am the witness. I'm not doing anything at all. Let me be able to just witness and enjoy. Let's place our hand on our nabi. We can put it on the center nabi today. Mother, please make me satisfied and balanced. And let's really understand what we're saying by this. It means we don't want to run after any financial or other satisfactions, but we should just feel innately from inside completely satisfied. So we get rest, we can relax, we can stop chasing. And also satisfied because we have found our self-realization that we have been looking for so long. So with gratefulness we can also feel relaxed that we have found our self-realization, our connection of the spirit. But at the same time with that comes the responsibility of being self-disciplined. So we can say, Mother, I am my own master. Please help me be disciplined. When I see the way, I should have the self-discipline and the courage to also walk it. Now let's place our hand and cross it over on the center heart. We can say, Mother, please make me fearless and confident, because today's program is about the center heart. And we're showing this image of Mount Kailash, which is connected to our center heart. It's a very powerful mountain in Himalayas. Mother, make me fearless and confident. Everything I need to be fearless and confident is in me already. And as we all know, Satchitananda, we can sing this together. Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. So let us keep our attention on the center heart, and we're going to see a video speech of Shri Mataji, and after that we continue our meditation.
The richness of the spirit will become very important. That is what is going to be the Sahaj nations, where the richness of the heart, the spirituality, oneness with the divine will become the greatest boon for everyone. But still we are struggling to be on that state. Many are, and still we go into materialistic tantrums or some sort of a stupid worrying fall. All these must be carefully watched. If you can keep this chariot of new progress progressing faster, we are going to create a new world of complete harmony, complete peace, joy, and love. But for that, you are the ones who have to do it. I cannot do it. If I could have done it, I would not have asked you to join such. It's like a horses and the chariot. Horses are to be driven. Charioteer doesn't drive the chariot. In the same way, you must understand your responsibility that this is the greatest work we are doing. It's not only the industry or the labor and the capital I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the totality of well-being. Of course, all this is a part and parcel of that, no doubt. But the balance should be with the totality. So we have to think of a total well-being. Once we start thinking of the total well-being, then first thing that should come to us, are we capable of bringing up that total well-being? Are we? Have we got the total well-being within ourselves or not? Have we? We are still worried if the plane is coming or not. I mean, we are so mundane, so little, so small. With one bandhan, you can control any plane, any atmosphere, and here you are, still worried about things which are absolutely under your control. So this totality has to be thought over. What is this totality? That Mother is talking. In this totality, a world has to be created of people, by the people, who have no fear. This fear has to be. Behind all this nonsensical nervousness is fear. So for that, what she does is to give Abhayadhan. Under her protection, you are beyond fear, you are protected. But if you don't want to believe in yourself and you don't believe into her protection, then nobody can help. Because everything is mythical for you. In every venture that we take up, we should not have any fear, because God is with you, is a fact, is the truth. You just try. But when you try through your ego, you fall into the trap of fear. I have seen egoistical people are the most frightened people and panicked, because they panic others and so they think they can be panicked one day. When the English were here, first of all, in England, India, we were all frightened of them. Now, I see that in England, every English family is frightened of others. They'll only open a chink of the door to see who is there and shut it. They're so frightened. I'm surprised they are the same English who ruled us here. And we were so peevish before them. And now they are the ones who are frightened of us. Because when a person who is egoistical tries to dominate others, he sees himself in the mirror and thinks that the other person will dominate. That's how this fear creeps in into our minds, and we start getting all kinds of these stupid tantrums out of this mythical fear. The fear is created by our ego. A person who has no ego, he'll have no fear because he has not harmed anyone. Why should you have any fear? And such a man or such a woman will be looked after by God because God takes over. When you surrender your ego to God, He takes over. But those who have ego, He says, all right, go ahead. Use your ego, try to protect yourself, cut your throat. That's what it is. So when I talk of total benevolence, I am talking about your own total benevolence. So first is the fear, which should go out of your mind completely if you believe in the Almighty God. We'll say, you are Almighty God, you are Almighty this thing. It's all lip service. If you believe that God is Almighty and you are connected with God, then why should you have any fear of anything? But when we say don't have fear, another extreme comes up. We don't have fear, we can do what we like, we can perform everything ourselves, we need not tell anyone. You have to tell God whatever you are doing. You have to take permission, you have to inform in His darbar, in His court, that sir, we are thinking of doing such and such. But you think you are God? You are not. And that's why the another part of non-fear is this kind of an arbitrary behavior, which is very dangerous for Sahaja Yoga, for yourself, or for everybody else. If you cannot become the light of the divine, so all of you, each one of you, is not at all a small person, no one. But you don't realize what you are. Still have those funny conditionings by which you think you are no good. All of you can come up and see so many people. If they take to total benevolence within themselves, it will manifest itself outside. Absolutely is a fact.
So let's let Shri Mataji's words resonate deeply in our being and stay in a moment of silence. I'll play some rain sound, and I really hope that all your fears and all your thoughts are washed away. All our fears and all our thoughts are washed away. protect us, please. And with your loving guidance, give us peace. Mother, keep us always safe, protect us, please. And with your loving guidance, So I want to invite Vitotas to guide us further in the meditation. And you can take your feet out of the foot soak if you feel it's the time. And rinse your feet. Thank you.
So because we are already in meditation, so just go with this flow. Few moments without talking, without thinking, without doing something, just let's be in the flow. Center heart, the chakra which is protecting us and guiding our immune system also, like in this cells and organs level, protecting us also. This chakra element is air, and our breathing is very much connected to this chakra. So we will meditate and we will start from this breathing exercise. So first I will explain and then we will continue doing it, practicing. So we will breathe in slowly. Then we will stop a little bit for a moment, ourselves in comfortable way, few seconds, few moments, and softly starting to breathe out. And when our whole body is empty, like no more air left, we stop a little bit and then we softly breathe in after some pause. So this kind of gaps in our breathing, kind of like massaging, like stimulating our center heart. And first we can do it with our brains, like controlling it, like a little bit like guiding this breathing rhythm. And later we just go to the sahasrara, to the top of our head, and let this breathing continues itself. So we can keep our right hand on our center heart, left hand open. Let's sit straight, comfortable straight. And let's start from this breathe in, softly stopping, and breathe out. Again, stopping and breathing in. And let's continue for a few minutes like that. Let's continue breathing and witnessing what is happening with our breathing. Maybe even gaps will be longer. And in the same way, we can see everything from the sahasrara, from that point where we keeping attention in meditation. So let's focus on our feelings, what we can feel in our left hand, in our center heart, on the top of the head. If some thoughts comes, just let them go. Don't react to them. Just let them pass. We are not these thoughts. We are not this mind. We are just this moment. So let's enjoy this moment totally. Now we can keep both hands open, and we can raise a little bit attention higher than our physical top of our head, a little bit higher. And we can ask, we can call Divine Mother, this Kundalini, to come and to fill with vibrations every corner of our body, organ, and also our chakras, our nerve system. That we can call to everywhere where we can feel some tension. If there is some physical tension, emotional or subtle vibrational tension, we can call to that place to come our divine energy, Divine Mother, and to enlighten that place. Now we can raise a little bit hands up, that it should not touch anywhere. Like it can be both hands in the heart level. And we can witness three places: left, right palm, and also our sasrara, top of the head. For a moment, nothing to do, just to see what we feel on our fingers, center of our palm, also top of our head. No need to pretend, no need to push feelings, just witness what we feel. And now we can put both hands into this namaste position, but totally in balance, left and right, close to heart. Let's bow a little bit. And in this position, without any fanatism, without any like ritualism, just if we have feeling of this moment, if we have peaceful, comfortable moment, if we feel the subtleness of this moment, just let's say thank you for this, to this divine energy, to creator, just to express our feeling in this thanking moment. And now we can keep hands open again on our comfortable position. And we have one more music performance from Sia, and we can listen it into meditation inside of this state.
my witness, all forgiving. You, Mother, show me the play. You grant me knowledge, true satisfaction. Take all my sorrows away. I'm now able to awaken the Kundalini blessings I'm granted today. Glory to you, Mother of Mothers. Salutations to you. Namaste. Namaste. Shri Mataji. Namaste. 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 Shri Nirmala Devi, Namaste. Namo, Namo, So let's raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan. So the official part is really over for our meditation, and if you are in nice bliss, then maybe you switch off. Because now if we do some chatting, maybe you feel it's getting you out of your meditation, but doesn't matter. Sometimes the chatting can also open your heart, and maybe you find a couple of things in what we're talking about that resonate and that appeal to you. So I would love to invite Vitotas back. Thank you so much for being up in the morning and meditating with us and leading this beautiful meditation on the element air.
Oh, what a joy to meditate together, not alone in the
Right.
morning. Yeah.
And with so many lovely members who are here. So,
Yes.
and maybe we can even do a little bit of a chat interaction at one point. But Vitotas, you have such amazing stories, and this program, obviously, right? It's all about protection, but it's also
Yes.
about what we are doing about it and how we look at it, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, I just want to say that when you gave this TEDx talk about the protection,
Am I
that was
hired?
no. Yes.
Thank you.
But I mean that it was really so many points in just few minutes, and through my attention went so many really memories and tests which I had in Sahaja Yoga in my life, being Sahaja Yogi. So actually, it's so many things to share. But also, I think that these people who joining this program, for sure, they have some experiences also. I don't know how. It would be so nice, like after meditation in meditation center or somewhere, let's have tea and let's chat. What kind of
Exactly, right?
things we feel about this, and we have some stories maybe. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
But what I can say that today's speech of Shri Mataji was very into point. Actually, I heard it some years ago, but not recently. That ego is the one who is afraid,
Yeah,
because I
right.
always feel this fear here, but actually ego is
It's
somewhere
from
here
the ego.
bubbling in my mind. Yeah, and actually, if that relaxes, if that radio switches off,
Yeah,
then all these fears, actually we have a gap of these fears, or fears, tensions, or some, like that. So
right.
this is for me a very
and
interesting point.
and the more we expand and the more we go into the chakras, into the details, we always come back to the most simplest of all, with Shri Mataji says in each and every public program in the first 5 minutes, which is says the truth is what it is, it cannot be changed, and that be in the present moment, be in the present moment. So even
A-
if right, so
yeah,
then there
yeah.
is no ego and super ego if I'm really in the present moment.
And that's why meaning came for me, like why we should practice meditation even if we are balanced. For example, if I feel very good, if I satisfied, okay, no problems, no tensions, like why should I meditate? Sometimes
Mm.
I hear such a question from the seeker.
Mm.
So you know what came, like we need to train our attention to switch off the thoughts, because once tensions will come, or some test will come, or some situation will come, we need to be trained to have this muscle. When we want, we can switch it off,
Yeah.
because yeah, we like, for example, when we do sport, or like, I don't know, like we do always to get this mood that when we need to run or we need to do something, we are able to do. So
Mm.
that's why it's so important to train our attention to switch off thoughts when stress will come, to be in witness state, to be in really this balance. So
Mm.
what reminds me, that actually this war in Ukraine now, and I had an opportunity, because as a yogi I have I taking part in this Nirmal TV show. So it is like project for fun, but also we do interviews, and I wanted very much to interview, not because media is changing information, and all media is tries to make you reacting and to feel or fear or stress or something. Yeah, so I thought like better to connect with yogis who are there, like bombs are falling, let's use the internet and let's connect. And that
Mm.
was amazing experience, because these yogis, they are not at all stressing.
Mm.
I speak with them with some fear, like like and they are calming me in this talk, like I feel so relaxed after the talk. And I felt that ego went away, because life stopped, job stopped, money like no value anymore, doesn't matter any goals like I will achieve, where I will travel. No holidays, no job, no holidays. Like everything stopped, you know. So actually, your ego is like trapped. You don't have food, you don't have light, you don't have gas, you don't have anything. You just live. And in that moment, when I spoke with them, you know, they are so satisfied. They are so calming, so nice, and they are loving actually. So it's unbelievable
That's
what
hard
kind
to
of
imagine,
state,
right?
yeah,
That's true.
what kind of state can go when this machine, you know, on holidays. Like, so that's the ideas I got when you were telling, and I heard Shri Mataji's speech. It's very interesting that really fierce creator is here, you know.
Yeah, and also a little bit this illusion that we think now we start Sahaja Yoga meditation, our life's gonna go easy peasy and everything's gonna just be laid on a platter, right? And if you think about it, I mean, all the prophets, think of each and every prophet, they've been born in the worst possible times, in the poorest possible conditions. And our environment isn't always easy. And I feel so much for all our seekers when they feel, why is this always happening to me? Maybe it's to make you strong because you can handle it. Maybe because you are a special person who can handle it. We need you to fight through this. And you know very much how we had this time of Navaratri. Actually, it's a funny little story on this. You know, we had the time of Navaratri where we celebrate the center heart, and as we know in Sahaja Yoga, it's always like everyone runs around with a cough. Oh yeah, Navaratri, because everyone's coughing. Because it's the first thing where you get attacked. You feel like, you know, the negativity knows where they should come to bother us. So I was meant to do this protection program 2 weeks ago, but I managed to stab myself in the hand. Now talk about protection. And I'm cutting a bread and I poked myself pretty deep with the knife in the palm. I thought that's going to look great if I'm going to do the program with a bandage and talk about protection. Doesn't matter though. It's not like I don't free protect it, but things happen. But I just noticed when, and this healed super fast, by the way, but when this happened, right, our first thought was, okay, I wasn't meant to do that today. That was not the day I was meant to talk about protection. Doesn't mean I don't talk about it. It's not like I threw everything aside, but that wasn't the day. And why, we don't know. You have this
Yeah.
great story now about this hitchhiker. So you want to tell us this where you
Oh,
didn't even
okay,
know why
okay.
you are in this situation.
Okay, so you pretend that you will hear it first time, okay?
Okay. That's why you have to
Okay,
keep
so
a few fresh stories
yeah,
that I don't know
because
yet.
it came just before this meeting. Yeah, we spoke and it
We
came.
spoke about it.
Yeah, what happened? Sometimes I have some moments in such experience that brains are totally not matching with the reality. So I was driving a car, and usually I don't like to take other people when they are hitchhiking on the way. But I see in the highway, not highway, some road, some uncle is hitchhiking. And I stopped the car. And while stopping, I saw that he is drunk. Not only drunk, he's like a usual drunker. like he's totally like some, I don't know, maybe digging somewhere. Some totally disaster, because and smell and alcohol and maybe falling, maybe he can vomit in my car or something like that. And Vitas, like me, I would never take. I would come, I would see, and I would go. Because, yeah. But in that day, very strange. I even witnessed in that moment, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm stopping and I'm calling him into car. Disaster. You know, like my brain's like, and he came inside and he tries to put the belt or some talking. And he wants me to drop not in my direction, but he wants me to turn away. And can you drop me home? He's in my car. What I will do again to drop, like, okay, let's go. And I turned and I was bubbling in my brains were like, what is that matter with me? Like, why? And I was going. And I went to that some village or something, and he went away and he don't want to show where his house. I will find, don't worry. And he said, like, actually, where are you going? You can reach through this road. I'm looking to some bushes. There is some road, you know. It's like, go straight. It's very shortcut. Okay, he went away. I opened windows, ventilate a little bit, and I started to go in that road. and that road was like bushes and deeper bushes, and then bumpy, and my small car stuck. And then I felt like, oh my God, now it is the moment when I really need to introspect why I'm doing this, like why I'm listening him to go into some jungles. And then I found a way, I backward, and I somehow went away from that village, and I came to that point where I was like turning from my road. And you know what I saw? That exactly in the same place where I wanted to go, there was a huge car accident. Like I really like I cannot see so often such a things. Like two trucks cracked, one truck fell down on two or three cars, and somebody's trying to take people out from these metals and this and that, and everything is like in a movie. And I realized that actually all this drama I experienced was to protect me, because might be I was in that place. Maybe that was some, I don't know, negative place, or a place where meant to happen something. And my brain's against me working and taking something and doing some actions which I don't want, I would never do. So in that moment, I felt so peaceful, and I really like almost in tears that somebody protects me so much that even alcoholic can be a tool for
exactly.
me to be protected. So this is like so I'm sure that maybe somebody has also some stories like that, but it's so interesting to witness that you think that it is curse for today,
Yes,
but actually in the end you see that it is blessing.
It's a blessing.
Yeah,
I had a similar story like that, where we were on the way to the airport early morning, 4 o'clock, to drop my children, and then on the way, and they were meant to go to a children's camp for a while. And on the way, my little boy says, "Mommy, I have ear pain." I'm like, "Are you for real? We just labeled your clothes. We just ironed till midnight. We just packed the bags. We're on the way to the airport. Here you go, say, I have ear pain." So we went to the side and we checked vibrations, the whole family. We stopped on the highway, which checked vibration. And it was so cool for him not to go, which didn't make any sense at all. And we didn't go. And much later, months later, we find out that there was a massive problem at that place with police and closure and everything. And we were saved. But in the moment, we may have cursed the situation and said, "Oh, how does this happen?" And we wanted to send him. And much later, I mean, that was a very obvious one. It was a very obvious. Actually, I have another story. One today when we were just talking. But it's also so funny. It's a sweet thing that can happen in America. Like, we were driving, it's Saturday, and boom, middle of the highway, I have a flat tire. I'm with 3 children in the car and just about make it into a business park. And I'm thinking, I'm here in a business park on a Saturday. Okay, I can call the pulley people. I was on a way to a party from the Saturday school that I was participating. It was really sad I wouldn't be able to make it. And here we are in this business park. And I didn't even have time to pull out my phone to call my husband and find out the number for the pool service. And a car pulls by, just like this. They come out, he starts opening my trunk, he pulls out the tire, and she's standing there giving a commentary, said, "So, all right, so what you're doing really is you're taking the tire off, and that's the screw, and this is the thing, and this is the bob, and this is it." And I'm like, what's happening? So he was changing my tire just like this, and she was standing there explaining. And then I was like, "Who are you people? Are you angels?" Just coming, stopping the car and changing my tire. And she was so sweet. She said, "You know what happened to me? We were once stuck in Arizona, 3 hours. We waited, and not a single person stopped for us. So we said to ourselves, next time we see somebody breaking down, we're gonna help." Paying you
so
forward.
nice. So actually, conclusion can be of this also that we need to notice how things works out around, because sometimes we can be like ignorant and we cannot even notice that like divine really works around and support is there. So
This is, you can't plan this. This is just, it's spontaneous. All these things are spontaneous.
And also, I heard from the previous, like oldest yogis from the beginning in Sahaja Yoga, that Shri Mataji was actually like suggesting to write diaries, right? To write diaries later, to realize how many miracles happen. Because in that moment, maybe it sounds like not a miracle. Maybe it's okay, like happens. But when you read it out, like after some time in the gap with the time, maybe you will notice how many miracles you can count it, you know.
Yeah.
So
and it makes
so
you
do
stronger for the next time, because next time you feel, yeah.
do you write your diaries? Like, do you write? Are you still feeling it
I'll
or
start
not?
tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
So there are many more stories, I think, but maybe for today
Yeah,
is enough on it.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I think so too.
Yeah.
Let's let people go to bed. But it would be nice if people could share, or if they feel free on the WhatsApp groups to share their experiences. But I think it's just an invite to keep the eyes open, and just to not see situations as a curse, but as a blessing. And you just don't know. You don't know what was coming your way, that you were saved from, even if it may look on the outside. I mean, how many of us in Sahaja Yoga have missed a plane, or missed whatever it was, and then afterwards only we find out, or maybe we don't find out. But I think this is the sort of thing where we can build our faith. And it's a funny thing, really, when I grew up, and you talk about religions, and they always say, what is your belief?
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought, why are they believing? Why are we believing? Why don't we know? So it's in the word, the faith, the believing. We don't have to believe. We can know by our experience. And the only thing that makes us know is the experience. There's nothing else. Knowing, we can only know by experience. And I think we need to learn to get to know ourselves, our powers. As Shri Mataji said, they're all there. Get to know our powers, and live it, and use it, and then go from the believing to the knowing, because we have to be in the knowing in order to really understand ourselves and practice this meditation. Anyway.
And also we need some situations to know that it works, because if there is no challenge, we don't know how we react and what's different. For example, there was one new yogini in Lithuania, and like we meditate, we chat, but we never change so much stories. Yeah. And after one time, like after some time, I just said, like, how do you feel? Is Sahaja Yoga working on you? Like, like I was just like straight into point. And just like, yes, I feel it's very working. Like I said, like, but how do you realize it? Like, how do you can measure it? Just like, I had a situation. I live in the first floor, ground floor, and I always keep in the summer windows open, like a little bit. And I came to my bedroom at night. It's totally dark. I went into my bed, and actually through the window, some cat came into my room and was lying on my bed. And I kept my body on top of that cat, and that cat and started to run in the room everywhere and jumped out through the window. So she said, like, knowing myself, I would scream. Maybe I would, I don't know, maybe even do pee in distress or something. But she said, like, I was actually just witnessing. Cat is in my room. Cat went out. I went into bed and I slept. And she said, like, in the morning, I was like shocked that I reacted like this. Like me 1 month ago would scream and would call to somebody to tell or to cry or something. And it was totally relaxed. So actually, it's very nice that there are some situations where we can test how Sahaja Yoga works, how we different.
I'll tell you a story, and I was really hesitating to tell this story because it's pretty horrible, but it shows how I failed the test. Why not tell a failed test story?
Yes.
That will be my last one. We had a very drastic situation here outside our house with the active shooter situation. So the thing you always see in the news, it was right outside the house. One turn and it was there. And it manifested by me hearing a helicopter over the house. You could hear what's going on. So somehow somebody texted, said there's an active shooter situation, a man with a machine gun, and you could see, actually, no, even funnier, the lady who, I teach piano, the lady who I was teaching, she was sitting outside, nicely said, you know, when we came, there were like trucks and tanks and squad teams, and your whole roads, by the way, blocked. I said, what's happening? What's that? Yeah, there's an active shooter situation. A guy in the thicket. Really sad story. An ex army person who suffered of PTSD, and he just lost the plot and started shooting his neighbor and ran across the street. So we didn't know, and at the moment we didn't know. So we're in that house. We didn't even get the message, don't go out. Again, all these things started to worry me. I don't think I had fear as such, but I was worried, and I was running around with my mobile phone trying to find information. Now, here I go. My first thought was, I'm a yogi. I'm the safest in my meditation room. So I'm running to the meditation room, sitting, like, putting bandan, right? Putting bandan. And all the while I said to myself, I should be meditating because this is going to keep me safe, I was texting on my phone, looking around, where is the news? Why is there no news update? Then I'm running to the door of my boys, hammer on the door. Boys, what are you doing? And I must say, those boys, they're born in Saja yoga. They have been they're meditating since they're born. And they just looked at me and said, Mom, I'm doing my homework. I'm like, how can you do homework? We have an active shooter situation. Come into the meditation hall. So I'm screaming at them at top of my voice. So they're nicely following my lead, sitting down next to me. And yeah, I still go trying to find out what's been happening. And okay, cut the story short. The message came, sad ending. He died. The situation's over. And I looked at myself and thought, what was I just doing? I knew I'll be safe. I knew I was safe. But still, in my mind, I was like, rather than sitting, I knew I was meant to be in the meditation room. I put my bandan and I should meditate. But rather than really meditating, I was constantly looking on the phone. And my boys, who have this very innate, because they're born with this meditation, they were not phased. They were not the slightest scared for a minute. And when it was finished, they went back to their homework. And obviously they were upset about the situation, but it's just showed me that it's not just, you can't just talk about it and preach it. You got to live it. You got to really just do what you preach. You got to sit down and go into meditation. Even though we know from top of our head, and we were safe, we were completely safe. Everything was fine. It was again showing you're protected, you're fine, nothing's gonna happen to you. But look at yourself. You ran around like a crazy chicken. That's not the way, is it? Yeah,
but they made effect on you with their calmness.
They did.
Right?
They completely did. They completely did, and they lived it. They completely just lived it. And I must say, they're teenagers. They're not that old. They were maybe 16 at the time. They just lived
so
it.
You know, I remember Shri Mataji's also suggestion, if we see some yogi or some family member who is in that stress bubble, and if we are meditating and we have this balance moment, like very different, yeah, like very black and white or something, so we just can literally come and put hand on the backside, like in movies,
Yes.
and you can just do like that and say like, okay, like, but this also will give vibrations to the center heart. And I really tried few times with the stressing people. It really works like a treatment.
Yeah.
Because as a yogi, you can really share your vibrations, your calmness.
People did that. It's magical. It's really helpful. I wanted to say quickly, for those people who are still on the call, maybe you want to put some things in the chat, some experience or any question you have, also maybe for Vitotas. Just maybe we can open the chat so people can communicate. Otherwise, we are more or less at the end of the program, but it would be nice to hear from you. Have you had an experience? Have you felt something like this where you knew you're protected, or where you resolved it by giving a bandan or putting yourself into bandan?
Or is there difference between you not meditating and now meditating? Like, is there a difference of reactions or into stress or something?
Exactly. And if you have still any questions, any other questions, let us know. So the chat is currently open to hosts and co-hosts, so you can feel free to communicate. We can keep your identity quiet, but here we are. This is a little bit of a chat. And otherwise, if you need to hop off, have a good night. There's a program coming now on Sunday, again, as usual, your workshop. Linda was wanting to let you know. So please come, join the program again. And we're just going to be here and see if something is... here you go. We have something lovely from the help desk now in the chat.
Okay. And thank you for your music, Sia. It was so amazing. Like it's not live, but live. It's online, but live. You know, like it's created for us. It's such a
actually the first song, this Apani with the piano, is actually a song from a movie, from a Hindi movie. And Shri Mataji talked about it, and she said it's about the boy who is asking the divine to look after him. And I tried to translate it the best I could and put it a little bit compact into English language because it's easier for us to understand. So this
Hey,
Apani
Sia,
song. Yes,
there are
please go ahead.
a couple of questions and comments in the chat. Can you look at them?
I
Like
didn't get it.
it's in the
I didn't get
WhatsApp,
it.
the WhatsApp
Oh,
group.
WhatsApp. Oh, okay, good. Let's
Yeah.
see. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. How do I check someone else's vibrations? That's a great question. Vitotas, how do I check someone else's vibrations?
I don't know. I can tell only my feeling that sometimes I do like on purpose, like really trying to focus and feel it on my hands. But obvious, like now after so many years, like I really witness that I feel vibrations without even opening hands. And it's not like some magical feeling of vibrations. I just really can close my eyes or just like go with my attention to that person. It can be even in big distance, and it comes the state. And if I would say that in the beginning it was really weak, this feeling, but when you use it like a muscle, you try, like you can train after every evening meditation. For example, sometimes I try to feel my mom in a big distance, how she feels today, and it really copies my chakras, copies this feeling for some moment, but it should not be very long. It should be spontaneous, like a game. I do like that. Because if you meditating long on that person, actually I feel that I pretend, I start to think or I push myself to feel, but I do like that. But in the beginning I remember I used to really practice. I would say first maybe we can start to feel vibrations from some things. Practice on small things, like not on like humans, like a book, like a food, like for example a place we come and we can just feel vibrations from the earth, like or something. And then like in the forest, from the tree, maybe from the stone, I don't know, like a training. And then the subtleness comes, and then you can try to do about people. But about people also, let's not be afraid if we feel hot. Sometimes we feel very hot or negative, we can say. But maybe you know, we as the yogis, we very easily can clean and then it becomes okay, balanced. Sometimes it was like, for me in the beginning, it was like a little bit like shock. I wanted to check vibrations of somebody, and then like it's burning for some time on my hands, and I feel like, oh my god, maybe I took some negativity from them. But actually it's so easy, you know, you just put hands down or somehow attention up, and it is clean. For example, it was one lady, she was in pain, and I was very new yogi, and I was pretending that I'm, you know, curing her. But suddenly I felt the same pain she feels in the stomach, and I was like, oh my god, I took it to myself. But for me it took 2 rounds and throw,
You can clear it
and
up
it's gone.
because you can help the people you put attention on, obviously. So the
Yeah.
person who asked is saying, what about me? So I think it's both. So first of all, you can check your own vibrations, and you could just in your meditation, you know, I'm catching here today or whatever. So you kind of know where you are today. And then if you're giving, for example, another person a bandhan, that's how I do it. I write their name into my hand and give a hand bandhan. You've learned that, right? And then try to really be in thoughtless, like be in thoughtless, not try. And then when you have attention on the person, you'll feel different fingers. So that's an indication that's not you, now that's the person. And by keep giving the bandhan, I've seen sometimes Shri Mataji give bandhan for a very long time, quite a few minutes, and just keep giving the bandhan, and surrender and say, you don't have to say anything, just be in the thoughtless and surrender it and give it, offer it to be worked out. And then after a while, you'll feel it a little bit easing. Maybe some things may not completely disappear, but that's something how you don't only check somebody else's vibrations, but you also send vibrations.
But check if about yourself, checking your vibrations is actually with every meditation it will increase, right? It's like slowly. You should not have like a task to feel it. My experience is very funny that I never felt vibrations, and everybody's around talks about vibrations. I felt like, okay, am I like, what is happening? And it was like that until I was pushing myself to feel. Like I was really like.
Trained it.
No, I was like giving up. Okay, all yogis feels. I am disabled. I will never feel, and I gave up, and then it started because I was maybe like kind of imagining how it should be. I was forcing. Yeah. Forcing. Forcing is not the way.
So some question is, any suggestion to maintain the attention back to the center from moment to moment? So when I went to the petrol station the other day, gas station, this one lady jumps out. She thought I was reversing into her car, which I wasn't. I'm a good driver. But so I was reversing, and she got scared. And then she was really having a go at me. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Kind of it was very negative. It's very uncomfortable. It was really horrible. And I would be lying if I would say it didn't affect me. But what I noticed is I jump out of it so much quicker. So this thing, and that's sort of the answer to this. You remind yourself in this moment, no, okay, maybe I feel a little upset in the moment. I'm stepping back, I'm watching, I'm witnessing, and I'm taking myself out of this. I take myself out of this. And you can do that consciously, literally consciously. By saying, no, I'm not getting involved in this now. I'm not jumping into this bubble. I take a step back, and I'm witnessing this. And now this is not hurting me. And now this is not affecting me. And 5 minutes later, I was fine. Usually I'll go on about these things. But it was 5 minutes, it was gone. And I just, as you say, just practice that to really remind yourself, no, say, no, stop. I'm not allowing this now to bother me. I'm not allowing this negativity to play its game with me. I'm taking a step back. Just say no. Practice that and see how it goes, and come back in a few days.
And also, my profession is I'm an actor. So actors, we can shout, we can fight, we can be angry, but actually on stage, you're always aware that you are an actor in the performance. So we can practice a little bit that. We can be in the situation, because sometimes when we are in the reaction in the bubble, it already came. You cannot stop it. You cannot force to delete it. But we need to see the situation a little bit from the movies, like in the movie. And if we pretend that like we are now in the movie, like just director is there creating the stories, and we are like in the movie, and this is the character who is in the scene. Actually, it gives a little bit lightness of the situation. So completely. This is my trick.
And another one is humor. Goodness, where would
then
I be without humor?
Next step.
You can. Where would you be? Humor. It dissolves negativity so beautifully. How many situations did we get out of by laughing at them? And we've seen Shri Mataji laugh at things, right? With a hearty laugh. We've seen her laugh things of how ridiculous they are. And it takes the edge off. I've seen it so many times. People are generally so tensed. Everyone's so tensed. Everyone takes everything way too seriously. And if you come in and just laugh it off, they just start to relax. Everyone starts to relax, and you just look at it, like you say, like a theater play. It's just ridiculous. That's how silly it is. It's just ridiculous. And that's a really good way. Now, you can't force that, but you can, of course, with your meditation, you're gonna feel stronger. You are, because you're meditating every morning, every evening. And you are just going to transform. And you notice that, as you said, one day you wake up and you say, hey, That lady says, normally I would be screaming at the cat, but today I'm not. That's exactly it. Normally I would feel guilty in this situation. Today I don't. Something changed. Normally I'd be petrified at that person shouting. Today it doesn't faze me. So it will happen. It'll come. You just got to keep working on your centers, check your fingers, and just do your homework.
Yeah.
You know?
And just smile sometimes more. Yeah, smile.
Don't take it so seriously. Exactly.
Yeah, it's nothing really so important to be serious.
Do we have any more questions from everyone? Otherwise, we can wrap it up slowly. Really sweet
I think
messages.
that's all.
Good. Then thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks, Vitotas.
We'll
meet again
I'm
soon.
going to see a sunrise now.
Sunrise.
Yes.
In the cold Lithuania.
Yes.
Well, we
Autumn.
send you a few Texas sun rays. And thanks so much
Thank you.
for joining the program.
Thank you very much for this vibration flow.
Thank you.
Thanks
you everyone
for
who
everyone.
still stayed and bared with us. And we are all here for you every step of the way. This is such a wonderful program. Just hang in there, and I hope you had a little bit out of it today, that you got something that you can carry in your heart for tomorrow and try it, and then we meet again. Then have a great night, everyone.
Shri Mataji. Good night.
Bye-bye. Obviously, if you want to keep meditating, maybe we can play a little bit of music, because now we did so much talking. So we can put a little bit of music on so we still stay together. Otherwise, have a great night.